Okay, guys, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I thank those of you who were able to jump on at the last minute here. I woke up this morning and I was like, you know what? I'm stuck in the house, so why not just do a Zoom? We usually have our 9 o'clock call. It was my hope that some people who usually don't get to join us on the 9 o'clock call Monday through Friday are able to be present, and we do. We have Creeshaw on the line this morning. We have Nicole on the line. I'm just ecstatic about that. Terrence is having some difficulties, but he should be back. And whoever else joins us, oh well. But I thank you, Mama Cheryl. I thank
Mm-hmm.
you. Thank you. I'm gonna have to find out. We gotta put another name in front of Cheryl Brown name. And I thank you, Miss Teresa, for being on the line, guys. If you have pen and paper, that's great. If you don't, it's all right too. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about this morning is about a business tip that I want each and every one of us to take into 2017. Okay. Just to start off, to remind you guys, we've been programmed in America basically to be consistent in one thing. Okay, and that program has taken place with us since we were in elementary school, right? We were programmed that we had to get up, get ourselves ready, get on the bus, go to school, stay in school for so many hours per day, and go back and do it all over again, right? 5 days a week. It started again elementary school. It follows on into middle school. It follows us on into high school, and then if you were fortunate enough, it also followed you on into college, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and what happens, guys, after you get to that level, you get to college or you get to high school, if that's where you stop at, what happens after you graduate?
You're in a different thing. It's like boom. You
You
got to
get a
go
job.
someplace else. You got to get a job. You got to, work out in the world. It's totally different.
That's right. Both of you said we got to get a job. Okay. So that's what we're training. That's the consistent thing. Okay. If you don't be consistent in school, what happens when it comes to your grades?
You won't get good grades.
Okay. And if you don't be consistent at work, what happens when you get to work?
You're fired a lot of times. Or you
Okay.
just can't, you can't process
I
the way
want everybody to participate, and these other people need to unmute here. It is not just Cheryl and Cheryl. It's not the Cheryl and Tasha show this morning.
I was gonna respond, but I was brushing my teeth. So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
listening.
Creesha and Nicole too. Okay, so we are conditioned that we are going to go in and do so many hours per week, and we're going to go and we're going to do this for such an amount of time. For instance, once you get to work, get to the level that you get a job, you got to go on in 8 hours per day, and you're looking to do this for 40 days a week. And that's what people are programmed to as being consistent, okay? So it's a learned habit that we get from a child until we begin to be an adult.
Right.
What is never ever taught in school is about what type of business, guys?
Entrepreneurship.
Entrepreneur.
Right. We are never taught to be entrepreneurs in all this time. It's like entrepreneurs is part of that soap list word. When you would cuss out and you would say a cuss word and your mama wash your or a bad word, mama wash your mouth out with soap. That's what entrepreneurship has been when it came to us and going to school, okay? So you walk across the stage, you decide that you're gonna go and get a job, and if you don't get a job, then you're failing. If you're not consistent with your grades, then you're going to fail. If you're not consistent in the workplace, then you're going to be fired and you're going to fail, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so that's a roadmap that's just drilled into us day after day after day after day. Hey, good morning, Jennifer. How you doing? So, and it's put into us during our impressible times when we're kids. It makes us feel like people believe that they can't step out and they can't leap out on faith and try anything new because of this, right? So, hey Terrence, welcome back. What we're talking about here is the consistency and the roadmap that has been taught to us as a child, going from elementary school through middle school on up to college, Terrence. Basically, the bare fact that we're taught that we need to go and we need to do a certain amount of hours, 5 days a week, in order to be successful, to be consistent. And what's never taught in schooling is anything about entrepreneurship, okay? It's a habit that's taught to us, and it sticks in us. So regardless, if you hate your job, do you still go to work?
No, I don't.
I do.
Yeah.
Terrence says, no, I don't. If you have a issue with your spouse or your boo, some of y'all might have boos, I don't know. But if you got a spouse or something and you have an issue and they upset you and they make you mad, do you still go to work?
Yes.
Yes.
If you get a turn off notice with your utility bills that you're not going to be able to pay your bills, or your car about to be repossessed or something, do you still go to work?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, but what happens here as entrepreneurs, this is where we have control. Okay. Sometimes as entrepreneurs, we're not consistent in our own business, which means essentially that we are giving those CEOs of the company, who we're helping them to create their full-time legacy, okay? Because see, they have the owners of the companies, the CEOs, when we do our work and we get that sweat on our back, we're helping them create their full-time legacy. It's just a full-time job for us, right? But it's a full-time legacy for them. But when you're in a seat and you're in control, being an entrepreneur, being a boss owner, you give more respect to them. You allow distractions. Some people allow distractions. I'm going to have to say this. Yes, some people, because it's not all of us, okay? Some people allow distractions to come in and keep you away from your dream. So a distraction is what I was just talking about. When your spouse or your boo make you upset, you don't call into the boss and say, boss, I won't be in today. But when it comes to your own business, you'll be like, I'm not doing nothing for Vita Davina today. When you get a turn off notice, or you're mentally, you're down and all this other kind of stuff, you don't call into your boss and say, you know what, I got a turn off notice, my light's about to get cut off, all this stuff. Because you know what's going to happen is, if you keep calling in there because you let these little distractions keep you away from going to your 9 to 5, what's going to happen is you're going to get fired. Okay? So what I want you guys to do is that I want you to make sure that you be accountable enough to yourself that you decide to terminate yourself when you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, like you do at your 9 to 5. I want you to have as much respect for your businesses as you have for when you go work for that CEO there. Okay? So just because if it's on a Saturday morning like this morning and your alarm clock goes off and you don't have to go to work and you don't have to clock in at that time clock, I don't want to see you hitting that snooze button. Each and every one of us have to be consistent enough to put time into our business. We have to make commitments to our businesses, because consistency is what makes us have massive success. A lot of people only know how to be consistent in a world where you're told what to do. What was your reason for you? Why do some of us have 9 to 5s and we also have our own businesses?
Because we want to be free, and it seems as though we work for other people's dreams more than we work for our own dreams.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Anybody else? Any other reasons why? Why do you want to be your own business person?
Well, for me, it's because I no longer want to. I was laid off, and I worked for a company for almost 10 years. And then just it wasn't pretty much out of the blue, but it was out of the blue. They started laying off everybody in the department, well, pieces of the department, to where it got down to, it was just me doing the work of 5 people. And then out of the blue, well, not really, but I knew it was coming. I was hoping it was coming. It was just like, okay, we don't need you anymore. And I never want to have that feeling of working for somebody for that long and then they just come and say, oh, we don't need you anymore. You can go on, do whatever it is you want to do, whatever. We don't need you anymore. Bye.
That's right. So some of us continue to work a 9 to 5 because we want an exit plan. We don't want to have to be in a position where they could just take it away from us, like Teresa just said that they could take it away from us. Some of us are working these businesses because we know that we have to create our own economy. Okay, we see the writing on the wall. All you guys know who our president-elect is about to be, and all this other kind of stuff. We talked about that before. So you have to have a plan B. Okay, so with that plan B, again, it's about being consistent and having more respect for your own business than you have for respect for when you go and do that 9 to 5 again. Okay. When you decide, how much time is each one of you actually committing to your Vita to be in the business?
I can't tell you the time, but I have an Avon business I've been in for 11 years. I have a Melaleuca business, which goes comparable to the Vita Divina, for products that don't have any toxicity in it. So, I'm doing in leadership with Avon, I'm doing three things. And it's easy to handle. But coming into Vita Divina, I'm kind of trying to program myself as to, different things that I'm doing in each of the businesses.
Okay,
I can't tell you exactly the hours.
That's okay. So even if it's just any business that we're doing,
yes.
How much time are you committing to your business? How consistent are you being in investing in yourself and in your business, guys? If you were your own boss, would you keep yourself on payroll?
Yes. For me, I'm sorry. I'm letting somebody else answer.
You can.
I would say probably not. I'm not as consistent as I should be, and I'm not putting as much time in it as I should be because I'm doing a little more than I should. Like I go to school and I'm taking care of my family, so it's between that. But I want to do more, so I'm trying to plan out more and get in the habit of at least posting 3-4 times a day, being consistent with just getting out there.
Okay. Terrence?
No, I thought about this yesterday. My daughter was leaving. I apologize. I thought about this yesterday. No, I'm not committed to any time, but I thought about yesterday that I need to commit at least 20 hours a day, 5 days a week, at least 5 days a week. I thought about this yesterday, but no, I'm not doing it exactly.
Did you say 20 hours a day?
20 hours a day. not 20 hours a day, 20 hours a week.
Oh, okay.
A day, 20 hours a week. And I thought about this exactly yesterday, that I need to do 20 hours a week, at least 5 days a week. But I'm not doing it now. And I said I wanted to start this Monday.
Okay, so that's going to be one of your goals that you're working toward.
That's something that I plan to do Monday.
Okay.
I mean, it's a decision. I'm just deciding to do it. I ain't working toward nothing. I'm deciding to do it because I'm not working.
Okay. Cheryl Brown.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you keep yourself on payroll of your business if you were your boss?
You know what? I don't know, because I think I'm dedicated, but I'm not making a lot of money yet.
Okay.
So I participate as much as I can. I'm on every morning call. I'm always on Facebook. I talk to people as much as I can because I have a full-time job. I'm up till 1 o'clock in the morning every night, but I still need to make a little bit more. I need to make more money. So it's something that I'm not doing right, but, or there's more that I need to do. So maybe I don't know. I can't answer that.
Well, let me tell you something. As far as the fact that you're saying that you need to make more money, that implies that you have made money. I want
Yeah.
you to let you know that you are above the game of a lot of people, because there's some people that haven't made any money. Okay.
Okay.
And when you do it, everything takes little steps, and consistency over time and being committed is what's going to get you there.
Okay.
I wasn't always making a little bit of money. I can always get a check that allowed me to go and buy a used car for my son. Okay.
Right.
And what I'm finding is that the more that I pour out, or the more that I invest into the people who are on my team, or the people who are underneath of me, letting them know where they are, then that helping them get to where they need to go is what's going to help propel me even more. Okay. So I'm not really focused out on the money thing. I'm really focused on helping each and every one of you, and also helping other people when it comes to their health that are not in this business to get better. For instance, Nicole, again, calling her the other day to just let her know, hey, babe, do you know how close you are to your next rank? You know, she was shocked to find out about that. When I hit Tequila up and sent Tequila a text to say, hey, do you know that you're just close to hitting supervisor rank? You can put that apprentice elite behind you. She was shocked. So, you know, sometimes we're not paying enough attention to our own business. And also then it goes to, it's a little bit more. What additional stuff are you doing besides being on, you know, you got to do more than just be on the morning call. You got to do more than be on the video Zoom meetings and stuff. Commend you. It's a bunch of people on here that haven't done a vending event. You've done a vending event, and you did well last week when you did it. And you know that you're going to have other ones coming up next month, right?
Right.
So do not get focused on, do not measure your success by the amount of money that you're making right now. Measure success by the commitment that you're putting into your business. How consistent are you going to be in the year? Okay. If it's only 2 hours a day that you commit to your business, then make sure it's 2 hours a day. What I don't want you to do is, when it's time to get up and do your 2 hours, you decide, oh, well, I really didn't make I didn't get a check last week from Vita Davina, so I'm not going to do these 2 hours a day. Or, oh, you know what? My boss pissed me off in my job the other day, and I just don't feel like being bothered with nobody. I'm just going to chill, and I'm going to drink me some wine. I'm going to look at TV. I'm not going to put my 2 hours into Vita Davina. Or, oh, I lost a loved one. A loved one that, you know, in our world, we have rules about how you're going to get excused from work, depending on who is the loved one that you use. If it's not somebody in your immediate family, the company's not going to excuse you. And if it's somebody that's not in our immediate family, do we go to work still?
We sure do. We sure do.
We still go to work still, regardless of who it is that we lost. So if you lost a loved one, I still want you to put your 2 hours into your Vita Lavina too. That's what I'm talking about. We have to operate our businesses, guys, as if we can fire ourselves. Because it's only the fear of firing ourselves and not being able to pay our bills and stuff that keep us going into a 9-to-5 that most of us are not happy about. Okay, most of us work with people that are around us that make us crazy, that we don't want to be bothered with. Most of us can go to work and know there's going to be a bunch of drama going on the floor today, but we still go in there regardless. We do not allow those distractions to interrupt our consistency. If we are not consistent, and if we don't build the habits right now and take those habits with us into 2017, guys, we're not going to make it. We're not going to make it whatsoever. We have to be consistent, okay? That's the only way that we are going to have massive success. Distractions take away your massive success. Distractions are a formula for failure. There is no room for distractions. I want each and every one of you to say that I will not allow distractions to take away my massive success.
I will not allow distractions to take away
Take
my
away
massive
a
success.
massive success.
Okay? I will be consistent for my family legacy.
I will
be consistent
for my
I will be
family
consistent for my family legacy.
Okay? I'm going to show up no matter what's going on.
I'm going to show up no matter what's going on.
Okay, I need each one of you today to just remember that you're going to decide to be consistent in your goals. You're going to decide to be consistent in your vision. You're going to decide to be consistent in your dreams today, okay?
Yeah.
Decide today that the consistency outside of the roadmap that we were taught from elementary school until we graduated and went into another job, that outside of that consistency, we can still be, you have to be inconsistent in that consistency to be consistently successful. That's a tongue tie's, okay? I want you to be inconsistent in the consistency that we have been taught, that has been embedded in us, that you got to do 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week for 40 years in order to be successful, okay? That is not going to leave anyone a family legacy whatsoever, okay? That's what we're trying to do. Family legacies, generational wealth, financial freedom to have time to do what you want to do. When if you need to sit around the house and not go deal with some boss getting on your nerves, if you don't want to, in my Cheryl World as a union person, if you don't want to have it hanging over your head that every 3 years you got to go through a fight with a contract and you might be on a strike and all this other kind of stuff, you have to make sure that you change your mindset and have a mindset for you to work out for your family, okay? We cannot continue to go into 2017 insane. Can somebody tell me what the definition of insanity is?
Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting to change.
Okay, we don't have time for that, okay? Some of you guys, me too, are sitting up here right now like, it's Christmas time. I really would like to buy this, but I can't buy this. I wasn't able to do this. I said in 2016 I was going to get me a new truck because the other truck is on its last legs or whatever. I said in 2016 that I was going to change my zip code and move to another house. I said in 2016, whatever it was that you said in 2016, most likely you said in 2015, 2014, 2013, 2012. So that means that everything that you've been doing the same is why you still have what you have going on now. So what we are going to commit to as a family here, guys, that we are not going into 2017 the same.
Amen.
Okay, we're going to have to make sure that we fix that. We want to have financial flexibility in our life, okay? We don't want to have to be living, as Brandon says, too close to zero anymore. We need to change this, and we can change this, and we have the tool available to make this happen, okay? So that's just this morning. The tip for the day is that you have to be consistent within your businesses. Okay.
Yep.
Nicole, you with me?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
You ready to be consistent within your business?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and it don't mean that we start January 1st. All right? We got a plan. We got to start now. We are not starting January 1st. Jennifer Hooker, you on this line. What you trying to do, baby girl? Jennifer? She might have a computer issue. Guys, Jennifer is one of my direct reports. I'm sure that most of you, I'm happy to see her on the line this morning, but her computer may not be working right here. But we're going to try to get Miss Jennifer together because Miss Jennifer has a lot of things that she do for people, as far as she has horses and she helps out children who are in need and teach them with the horses. She's a speech pathologist teacher at a school and everything. She's a member of a women's organization in the area that helps a lot of people. So Jennifer just scheduled just too busy that she trying to figure out this be the thing. She want to be a part of it, but we're gonna have to get Miss Jennifer straight on this. Good morning, Cornisha. How are you?
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm all right. Actually, here 30 minutes this morning. We're about to listen to Creesha. Creesha.
Yes.
Yes. Are you ready to be consistent?
Yeah.
What you about to do to be consistent, Mama?
I can't hear you. You're going in and out.
What are you about to do to be consistent?
I'm about to go out in the streets. I really haven't been doing that a lot, and I'm about to do that. I have 3 parties. I have 2 next month, and I have 1 next weekend.
All right, now. How many of you guys are being consistent in activating your businesses?
I am.
I'm working on it.
Okay. I hope the consistency, if you're not being consistent, it's what we talked about already. Don't let the distractions cause you not to be consistent. So in that line of you just not feeling good because somebody done upset you, when you don't see that order has shipped in 5 days, that's a distraction. It's coming. Time is improving. That's a distraction. And a lot of people need to know too, there are some people who are having vending events and they didn't choose to activate. So where the products probably would have been to you by now, a September order, most people have got their September orders. Most people have got their October orders. You can't have a vending event because you allowed something to distract you, prevent you from being consistent, and as a result, now you're not prepared for the event that you have. So do you see how failing to be consistent or letting distractions get in there can be a downfall for us? You can't have a successful event if you don't have any inventory. Is that right or wrong?
That's right.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
You can't make a sale and walk around in the street and hear somebody talk about how they need to detox or how somebody has some pain or something if you don't got no inventory on you, right?
Right.
It's not even just about the regular events. Always keep inventory on you. Always listen to what's going on. Listen for an opportunity to share yourself. Be consistent in whatever you do, guys. So that's 2017 going into the year. We are going into the year and we're going to be consistent. Consistent. How you spell it?
CONSTITENT.
Yes.
Y'all are so good. Y'all are so good. Yes. That's what I'm.
consistent.
You said CON what? Hold on.
CON consistent.
CON what?
Consistent.
Consistent. CON consistent. Oh, you funny. You so funny. All right, guys. So I hope that this 30-minute morning nugget or something helps somebody someday. I don't know. We're going to consistently do this every Saturday, but we're going to be consistent in whatever things that we plan. Okay. Y'all be safe out there today. And if you have any questions about anything else, you just want to hang out and talk, I'm going to stop this recording and we can just talk about some things too, okay?